thank you so much for clicking through on this video. Welcome back to the channel. My name's Will, and today we're going to be looking at getting some brassicas into this bed that we created a couple of weeks ago, and then also pulling the onions. A lot of you have said that it's time to pull those onions because they begin to flower, so we're going to grab some onions, have the first harvest of them, and see what else we can get up to today. So I have to be honest, I was a little bit disappointed at the thought of having to pull the onions already. I was hoping these would last much longer, or at least through to June, August time, but they haven't, so let's see what they're like. Let's see if we get some decent onions. I'm not quite sure how you're supposed to pull them. This was the biggest one, which I cut off last week. Ah, there we go. Is that a good size onion? Can't really tell. Let's strip back some of these leaves. Okay, it's not too bad. I think maybe you're supposed to keep those on actually and let it dry off. But anyway, it smells strong, it smells of onion. Well, that's one of them. This one through here is also developing a flower. This one looks much smaller. Yeah, see, that's only a tiny little onion. That's not going to do much, but I'll take it anyway. And then I can't actually remember that one I cut off. Let's try this one down here as well. Again, it's a bit small. Oh, this is actually really disappointing. I thought they'd get some good size onions. I mean, that one's not flowered yet, so I'm going to leave that one. Neither have those two. I think this one I cut as well. This is quite deep in the ground, so this one might be a little bit better. Nope. No better. That's a real shame. Okay, I might leave the others. I'm going to leave the garlic in the front because they've still got a long way to go. The shallots at the back seem to be doing okay, although this little one has also now flowered. I was checking other people's plots because most people seem to be growing onions and they've all flowered as well, but no one else seems to be pulling theirs. So this one I cut as well last week. Let's take that one. But there was also a great tip that I will dice these up and then freeze them and then just use them in like tomato sauce dishes or pasta, etc. They should be fine, I hope. Now that one looks a tiny bit rotten at the bottom. But anyway, that's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 6 onions harvested. First harvest of the year. Should also hopefully give me a chance to weed this bed because it's become a bit wild. And if once all the onions are out, then I think I'm going to put that to the higher scaffolding boards and use maybe that wood that was already there as a slight lip over the top, and then that'll be a more substantial bed going into next year. I'm not sure if you can plant onions there again, or if not I might try the pumpkins there, which I tried last year and they didn't do anything. But once that's clear I can try that. But I don't know, the garlic I guess will take a bit longer. That seems to be still going strong, although the leaves are going slightly yellow and beginning to flop over, which I think is another sign that potentially they need harvesting. But the bulbs still seem quite small and they're not growing out of the ground yet, so hold on to them for a little bit longer. I have really been looking forward to planting these for a while now. In here I've got the purple broccoli and I think some normal cauliflower and some purple cauliflower as well. These have done quite well, although some of the leaves are beginning to go a little bit yellow, so I think they're a bit deficient in light, but hopefully over in that front bed they're going to do much better. Let's get these potted or planted up. Right, I'm thinking maybe 2 rows. That's got 1, 2, 3, maybe 4, and then another row. That one's got 2 in it, so that will do 2 lots. 1 in there. Well, that can be those 2, and then 1 down here, and I think I've got 1 more somewhere. This one I planted back in October last year, so it's been in this pot for a long time. It's got a lot of weeds in there, but hopefully this will do just fine. Let's not get any weeds in this new bed. That one can go just there. Right, let's grab a spade. good in here, I'm pleased with that. So I need to get some netting over them, otherwise they're going to get destroyed by the pigeons and slugs. And then hopefully these will grow. They're quite well established, so I'm hoping the slugs won't get to them too much. And we'll see over the next few weeks how they get on. Right, let's grab some piping and some netting. I'm going to try and use this slightly narrower pipe. I think hopefully this might work a little bit better. It's not going to work. Oh, there we go. Then the tall stuff I used last time. I'm just going to put a little hoop over each one and then maybe tie it with a bamboo through the middle. Not sure how deep I'm going to be able to get these because of the cardboard in the bottom, but hopefully that one goes in quite well. Thinking like that, 4 along there, is that going to work? I'm not sure how tall these grow. Are they going to grow too tall for this? That's a good point. Oh well, if they do, we just have to expand this out a bit. That one's not going to go in so deep, unfortunately. That'll do. And then this one. Ooh. This is where the bed gets that bit shallower. That should do. And then one more. Good. And then just some netting over there. I don't think I need to stick along the middle. I think that's going to be fine. Maybe that one just needs pushing down a little bit more. Yep, that's better. Let's try this side. Yes, that's much better. Right, let's get some netting on there. And this is the part that I struggled with before. Just thinking, should I maybe water these first? Otherwise I'm going to have to water them through the net. Yeah, let's give them some water. Good. Let's go with the netting. Now this is what I found difficult last time, but hopefully with a slightly smaller frame this is going to be a lot easier. Yes, that looks better already. Just need something to weigh that bit down. I have to come back for that. And same there, and then maybe a couple of pegs around the corner. Let's get a rock for each end though. There's one just here, that'll do. They're looking good. Right, let's do the same on this side. Piece isn't going to be big enough. I'm not sure I've got a bit big enough for this side. That's annoying. Let me check the other piece. It's not great because it leaves them a bit exposed at the sides, but I might try and get another piece of this, but for now that'll have to do. At least that'll keep the pigeons off, even if it doesn't keep the slugs. Good. for anyone new here, I thought it might just be worth doing a quick plot tour, show you where I'm at as at the end of May, and give a few ideas of what I'm planning to do over the next couple of months. So this first bed is the one we've been working on today. Now I've got brassicas in there. I'm thinking I might put a few of the onions I had left over into that bed as well, because they might do well, and they're also supposed to deter the slugs. And then as we move around, this one has got the potatoes in, planted a few weeks ago. They're not doing anything yet. We've also put a bit of the wood chip along the path there, hopefully make that a bit neater. Then we move on to the messy area. This is where I hope to get at least another 2 raised beds in here if I can. Again with some wood chip path. But the ground has got really hard again at the moment, so it's not easy to dig that as I go through. And then down here I've got my 2 tubs of potatoes. They were the first potatoes I planted, and then over the back there is the daffodils, but this is all just growing really wild again. I need desperately to cut some of this back because it's crazy. And then down here is the little strawberry bed. Again, it's gone really wild, but there are a few, well, there's strawberry flowers in there. Oh yeah, look, you can see down here there are some strawberries just beginning to develop, so hopefully they will fairly soon be ready, or not fairly soon, but in a while will be ready. And then over in the corner there is a giant gooseberry bush, which that one doesn't actually seem to have as many gooseberries on it as the other one. And I can't remember what this was, someone told me last year, but this is some sort of fruit bush, I think. Someone said it was like the berries that you make gin with, but I can't remember what that was called. And there's a few more strawberries down here, all just growing wild there. And then the shed back there, and this blackcurrant bush. Blackcurrant? Is it blackcurrant? Blackberry. This desperately needs cutting back, so otherwise it's all going to scrape on the polytunnel and cause that a lot of trouble. And then if we turn this way, we've got, well, I'm not sure what that thing is with the yellow flower. Some sort of weed. It looks a bit like a buttercup. I've never seen one grow that big before. And then through here is, this is all sorts of fruit bushes in here. You've got gooseberries, raspberries, and a blackcurrant bush. So hopefully they will all start bearing fruit soon. And as I showed last week, the gooseberries are coming on there. I can't see any raspberries or blackcurrants there. Well, there are a whole load of blackcurrants coming on there. They just take quite a while to ripen. When I arrived this time last year, I think they were just beginning to ripen, and the birds got to them really quick. The door's fallen down in the polytunnel, but ignore that for a minute. And then in here we've got aubergines. So this aubergine is actually beginning to develop. I'm not sure if that's a flower, if that's where the aubergine comes from, but it's developing something. And then at the back there is a kiwi, and we've got some chilies and some peppers, which don't seem to be doing much. The cucumber is now doing quite a bit, it's growing well. Got sweet peas there, they desperately need to get in the ground because they're going yellow. We've got the wasabi rocket. Now that I actually want to do something with that, because I don't want to lose that. And then back there's the tomatoes, another pepper, more tomatoes here. They were the 2 brought in the shop. Another aubergine there, but this one's been got by the slugs. Doesn't seem to be doing much. And then, there's actually another brassica there. I could have planted that up today as well. And then these geraniums, really I should do something with them. And this kiwi on this side's doing much better, so I'm pleased with that. And if we head outside again, got the 3 sunflowers growing nicely here. And then this bed through here is where ideally I want to try and put the corn, which is now beginning to grow back at home. Just began to sprout this week, so give that another couple of weeks and that'll be ready. But I need to clear this. I need to clear all the weeds at the back there. I need to clear the little path and wood chip that. And then on this side I've got the rhubarb growing. I don't know when to harvest rhubarb. I was thinking I need to wait for the stems to go nice bright red, but I saw someone on the telly the other day and they were harvesting them and they were still green, so maybe I can, I don't know. But this bed desperately needs weeding, and again the grass needs cutting around it. It's a never-ending battle, that one. So in that little bowl over there are the carrots. They're growing quite nicely. And then down here are the onions, which we picked this morning. Some of those still need to be picked, but some of them will hopefully develop into slightly bigger bulbs. The front is the garlic. And then along here are the peas. Peas, beans and potatoes from last year grown in this bed. But look, we're starting to get some beans already. Again, I don't know where to, oh, it's got like a furry skin to it, I didn't realise that. I don't know when they're going to be ready to harvest, but that one's looking quite good. There's one back here that needs tying up, I think. Yeah, this one is looking good as well, but it desperately needs tying up. The peas aren't doing much. Oh, there's lettuce in here as well, which I'm very surprised ever grew. I thought that would get completely destroyed by the slugs, but it didn't. It kept going. So I need to get the peas up, do something with those potatoes because they're going to take over the world if they keep growing. And then up here I've got this lovely bay tree, which desperately needs cutting back as well. And I think hidden in there, although everyone tells me there's not, is a plum tree. So might be able to unearth some of that. And then if we come back round to this side, these are the plots opposite me. This one's nice and neat and tidy. They've got 3 beds of potatoes. They obviously like potatoes. And then this one, it's a whole mixture of stuff on there. And the one down there is really nice and tidy as well. This is the Swiss chard, so this I've just let go wild. If you were following last year, you'll know that this was really good. I planted it late in the year and it grew wonderful, but now it's just gone absolutely wild. So I might let that go to seed. I didn't realise how tall it's got. And then maybe pluck some of the seeds ready for this year. There's also grapes going down here. I didn't do anything with these in the end. I don't think they've got any grapes on them. Oh yeah, there are, look, some grapes coming. Just in there, I don't know if you can see that. So could be a few grapes there. They didn't ripen quick enough last year and they were quite sour, so don't know what they'll be like. And then along the front here is the onions and leeks. I need to plant some more of them. Although this one looks been got by the snails, which is a shame. I might have to put some sort of barrier down to stop those snails. But that's it, that's the plot really. So it's coming along slowly. Desperately needs some weeding done, I know. I'm getting there. In the next couple of weeks I want to be ready to put the corn into this bed. As you can see, it's gone a bit overgrown, but I also want to get some wood chip down this path so I can stop the weeds from keep sprouting up. So I'm going to grab some cardboard and put that down. Fortunately, this mix isn't quite as good as previous mixes, which have been a lot more bark. This is more just leaf, but it should keep the weeds at bay for now and provides a more substantial path through here, and will hopefully save me from having to keep cutting the grass. Good job. Just to say a big thank you for watching again. I'm going to head home and try and do something with these onions, give them a taste test, and I'll let you know next week what they're like. Otherwise, have an amazing week and I will catch you all again very soon. Take care. Bye.